Good to see you tonight. It's also something else you learn. You come to the 3:30 Bible class. Corey will teach you how to play cards. Everybody gets a chance. And it can be very comical too. Honor your father and mother. Exodus 20 and verse 12. Have you ever noticed the placement of this commandment among the 10 Commandments? Have you ever counted the commandments in the 10 Commandments? I've counted 15 commandments in the 10 Commandments. But we know that there's one God. We're to have no other God before us. No graven images. Do not blaspheme God's name. Keep the Sabbath holy. We may think that there's not a lesson for us about keeping the Sabbath day for us to make application to the New Testament, but I believe it shadows every day. The day you're to keep your days that you live holy to the Lord. The second half focuses on our fellow man. Don't murder, steal, commit adultery, or bear false witness, or covet what belongs to your neighbor. But the command to honor father and mother stands between these two groups. First being towards God, the second towards society, our fellow man, even those that live in our home. What we learn here is that parents, it's up to you to teach your children about God. It's up to you to teach your children about God's rules towards Him and God's rules in society, in the home. It's up to you. God created the home. Adam and Eve, the first family, their home. First parents. God instituted the home, and He gave a great responsibility to parents. Deuteronomy 6 and 6, we learn that it is up to the parent to take the child as he walks with him daily and teach him of God's commandments. And if the child learns God's commandments, it'll go well with the future generations as that child teaches his parents, and so forth and so on. But if they do not, and they forget the commandments of the Lord, then society's going to get a lot tougher to live in. Ephesians 6 and 4 says that parents are to bring them up in the training and admonition of the Lord. It's up to parents. Teach your children. But children, it's up to you to listen to your parents. It's up to you to obey your parents. That's your responsibility. You can't just blame things on your parents. You have a responsibility. Ephesians 6 verses 1 and 3 says, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with you and you may live long upon the earth. If children do not learn to submit to their parents, then they will not learn to submit to God. If they do not learn to respect their parents, then they will not respect God. If they do not learn from their parents the rules of society, the rules at school, the rules in God's house, then they will not learn to obey the rules, because the parents did not teach them. And if you do not learn it from them, and you do not listen to them, it's not going to be well with you. Learn to submit to your parents. Children, if you do not submit to your parents, more than likely in life, you may rebel against others. You may rebel against police officers. You may rebel against other authorities. And it may not work out well. That's the responsibility parents have, to guide their children, to learn to respect the home and honor the home, so when they leave the home, they know how to honor and respect other people. because they know that the supreme authority is God. Parents, keep your days holy. Keep your days sanctified in the presence of your children. Do not blaspheme God. Do not covet your neighbor. Material items. Be holy before the Lord. Keep Him above all in your life. Let your children see that. Respect God and teach that to your children. And children, respect and honor your parents. That is the guidelines that God has set forth for us. And that's how we keep a society that is good, true, and honest. But when we leave God out and parents leave out the responsibility of their duties before God, society gets turned upside down.